So we're back. See, as we took a break, we're still talking and discussing these issues because there's so much to know about this strong new movement. So whether this becomes a threat or this becomes our this becomes our revelation, let's hope the latter, diba? Because once and for all, the church, or at least the lay people, who actually makes the church. Hindi naman ang pare ng simbahan eh. Tayo po lahat eh. So, finally, there's going to be a movement. With us, we have Eileen Esteban, who's with the Catholic Vote Philippines. Okay, nagkakamali ako minsan, mali-mali. O sige. Okay, let's go back there. You're not going to say, vote for this person, vote for that person. Huwag ka lang bumoto ng gumanito. Huwag ka bumoto gaya niya. Pero pwede mo sabihin na pangalan. Si Governor X, huwag mo botohin niyan kasi itong ginawa niyan.
Yes.
Si Governor Y, ganito kasi ginawa niyan. How do you change the psyche of the people that are subjects to these strong dynasties and oligarchs? You got to remember, I think you can see the political framework of our country wherein the people are no longer their constituents. They are their subjects because these are fiefdoms. And now we have 80% of the dynasties, no less, running right now in the Senate, di ba? Magkakapatid, mag-ama, mag-auntie, uncle, di ba? I mean, it's talagang dynasty galore, 2013. How are we going to help the people understand that?
Sir, let me just point out that when you talk of psyche, it's something long-term. So this doesn't happen overnight. But on our short-term plan, we have to look at the 2013 election.
Immediate.
Immediate. But we're not discounting the fact that we're up here to the long haul and 2016 up to the next election. But I think for 2013, let's focus on the current issues that really brought this group on, which is those legislators who are trying to push for the death bills.
So what was the tipping point? Yung death bills?
It's the RH law.
RH.
It's the RH law that put us together. We were really enraged with what happened. Because, you know, they are trying to say that the RH is pro-life. What kind of pro-life are they trying to espouse here? They are trying to twist and they're trying to twist the truth. And it's very, very, I think, upsetting if you are a devout Catholic. That's what brought all of us together. It's about time that the people will really show their force. We had EDSA 2. Who brought EDSA 2? It was the Catholic. If it weren't for the Catholics, if it weren't for Cardinal Sin, it would have been a bloody civil war. And I think everybody would agree to that. That's why we became the epitome of a peaceful revolution all over the world. So, hindi pa nawamatay ang diwa ng EDSA. Pero kailangan nating itama kung ano ang totoong tamang diwa ng revolusyon. And of course, the church would always adhere to peaceful revolutions. And this is part of peaceful revolution. We have to catechize the election system, the political system, because it is part of our society. It is part of what makes us people and faithful and Catholics. So, psyche is a long-term plan to develop and change. But
values, morals.
It's value system that we're changing and culture. But let's start with information, proper information. Ano ba talaga ang tinuturo ng simbahan? Awareness. Marami nagtatanong sa amin, sino ba yung mga bumoto na yan sa RH Bill? Sino ba yung mga hindi bumoto? Ituro nyo naman sa amin. Simulan natin doon. One step at a time. Sabihin natin sa mga tao, ano ang plataforma nitong mga politiko na kumakandidato dyan sa distrito ninyo? Ano ba yung mga batas na ginawa nila na again sa turo ng simbahan? Ano yung mga sinulat nila? Were they co-authored? What are the things that they've really done to your districts? And vote according to that. That is an informed conscience. That's what it means with voting according to your conscience. Give them an informed conscience, empower the people. And only their fellow lay could do that also. It's not I think it's over that we're actually just relying on our spiritual leaders. Our spiritual leaders will always do their pastoral work for us. But we as civilians, we as faithful, as lay movements, we have to do something about it because it is only us who could save our country.
How do you feel about the position of dynasties? where does this stand? Is it as strong as the RH bill? Do you believe dynasties mutate into oligarchies and monsters, into situations? Will you negatively endorse dynasties?
As of now,
Posisyon nyo.
I cannot speak for dynasties as of now because our
RH muna.
immediate talaga are the death bills. It's not just RH.
The death bill.
RH is the first in line because that's what's really pending and
Yun,
kumbaga
tipping
doon tayo
point,
nanganganib di ba? So nandyan ang divorce, nandyan ang euthanasia, nandyan ang same-sex marriage, everything is lined up so nanganganib ang 16th Congress natin. So if we elect again the wrong people in the Congress, I mean, it's going to be really deadly for us.
Get worse, get worse.
For Catholics, di ba? I mean, I believe on your stand about personally. I believe that dynasties, family, political dynasties should be abolished because it's also a source of corruption.
Do you believe corruption is the source of the poverty of the Philippines?
Oh yes. And that's what we've been trying to say, why we're against the RH bill. Because they keep on saying it's overpopulation, that is the problem.
Do you believe we're
that's why we are
overpopulated?
Poor. No, it's not. It's not overpopulation. And in fact, countries like Singapore, Japan,
They're
places in Europe, they have
Negative,
they have an aging population which is now detrimental to their economy. Their government is trying to encourage the families, their young people, to have children because they need the young people as their workforce.
Even soon America, they're already beginning. The statistics in America are falling of people getting married. But America promoted this. It's still promoting it. Total independence from each other rather than promoting family. Di ba? Parang ganun lumalabas. So, you're saying our religion's under threat. You're saying, okay, on a personal basis, you're against the dynasty issue. How about the other positions of the church? Susunod lang tayo 100%. You follow everything. You adhere 100% to the church teachings.
That's what being Catholic is all about. The truth, you cannot twist that. 2,000 years has gone. We no matter what the technology is.
Paano kung hindi ako Katoliko, born again ako? Will you talk to me?
If you adhere on the cause, on the advocacy, on the belief that we have, you are very much welcome.
So you don't actually extricate them? I mean, you will not say, hindi ka pwede kasi Christian ka lang.
When we say kasi Catholic vote, sir, it's not just because you are Catholic, but what does the Catholic faith teaches? What is it that you should look for as a Catholic faithful in your candidate? That's what we're going to teach. That's what election catechism would be all about.
And right now, what you're seeing is most of our leaders are not Catholic-based any longer. Parang ganun nakita mo. I mean, you've been going to Congress, you've been watching those plenary debates and hearings, and it's disgusted you for some time now,
Actually,
which is why you're here.
It's really saddening that they will even use on their opening statement that, I am a Catholic. I was brought up Catholic.
Bakit di natin tanggalin sila sa simbahan, Eileen? Alam mo yung mga, umalis ka na ng simbahan, hindi ka na namin kailangan. Ba't di na lang ganun? Si Miriam Santiago, ba't di na lang, tanggalin mo na lang sa simbahan yan. Excommunicate.
Let us leave that to our faith leaders. I mean, our faith still...
Pwede ba namamangka sa dalawang ilog? Katoliko ako, pero alam mo, bawal ang populasyon. Let's kill population. Di ba? But di ba ganun sila namamangka sa dalawang ilog? Kasi sinabi ng simbahan, no. RH is wrong.
Yun yung mga
So, ang presidente namamangka sa dalawang ilog. Parang gano'n.
Yun yung mga
Is he Catholic? He is, isn't he?
He is proclaimed Catholic.
Wow, ang ganda ng word mo. Proclaimed. Pero hindi Katoliko.
That's what I'm about to say. Marami kasi mga Katoliko ngayon sa panahon ngayon.
False religiosity.
Na, we call them cafeteria Catholics.
What? Cafeteria?
Catholics.
Wow, buffet, yeah? Sige.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Buffet Catholics, they pick whatever is conducive for them to follow. But it's not like that for our religion, for our faith, because there is a dogma, there is a teaching, and you have to adhere to that. If your faith, if the Pope said that we have to uphold life right from its inception,
Conception.
then we have to. There's no twisting of that.
No
There is no
questioning.
maneuvering. There's no questioning of that. And I think the basic premise of our faith has to be upheld. Sabi ko nga, the truth doesn't change eh. No matter how modern the time is, it has to be there. It has to be the truth. There are no versions of truth.
How come we have not negated our leaders to date if we're basically Catholic? What's happened to us, mga Pilipino? Nawala na morals natin, nawala na values natin, nawala na ba pagka-religiosity natin? I mean, how do you address false religiosity? People who, mayaman sila, they go out preaching. Alam mo, marami kong kilalang ganyan, ha? Yung, meron pa, I'm a visionary, I always carry a rosary and a Bible, pero pagdating sa bahay, yung katulong, kainin mo lang yung pagkain na matitira ko. Tsaka bibigay ko sa'yo, dapat 4,000, 5,000 na, bibigay niya sa katulong niya 500, tapos natutulog sa lapag. Yung ganun ba, maraming ganyan eh. Or paglabas pa ng simbahan, nagmumura na, tsaka basta sa sasakyan niya, won't let other people pass. False religiosity. What do we do about people like this? How did they become like this? Or how have we become like that?
The thing about being a Catholic in this country, in a predominantly Catholic country like the Philippines, it is very culturally rooted. So, kung mapapansin mo, sir, even yung fanaticism, it's very much everywhere. It's very much everywhere.
And the Quiapo incident.
I think hindi mo rin naman kasi masisisi yung mga taong yun because they have their own journey of the faith.
Lakas ng faith nila,
it's
grabe.
It's a journey of faith to them
I know.
also. There has been miracles in their lives that has changed them.
That always impresses
for them to
me.
be that fanatic.
I know, it impresses me all the time.
But I guess the sad part is that over fanaticism, we lost the spirituality. It's no longer religiosity that we need. Religion is given to us. We are born Catholics, but what we have to do is to deepen our faith through our spirituality, through relationship with Jesus. I think that's what's missing now to the Catholic faithful in the Philippines. It's the relationship. That's why you get to twist your faith according to your convenience. There's so much secularism all over. And yung tinatawag na relativism na truth is relative nowadays.
It's what they want it to be.
Yan ang isa sa mga problema natin.
In perception. Hindi, kasi ako when I watched the thousands and thousands or hundreds or thousands or millions of people that went down just to participate in the procession of the Nazareno, I mean, gee, how did the RH lose? Nitingnan ko lang yun. How is that even possible? And yet, di ba, maybe it's the voting system. Baka hindi maganda yung Smartmatic. Hindi tama yung automatic counting. Hindi kaya ganon?
Hindi nga, sir.
Voice
voting nga ang naging...
Voice voting ba nangyari?
Viva Voce nga
I'm looking for a way out.
I'm
looking for a way out to rationalize naman these, the August halls of Congress. Di ba, that's what they're called, di ba, mga leaders. But in spite of the volume that we have as Catholics, I mean, how did that even happen? Anyway, that's what you're saying. This is the reason. That was the tipping point. The critical time has come. Critical mass is already there, is what you're saying. This is not a threat. This is not an idea. This is not a vision. It's already
going to happen.
It's evolving already. And before anybody knows it, there's going to be someone talking to you. Is this the way it's going to be?
Like politicians who are going to lobby their causes. I guess that is a given. We have to be prepared for that. But again, to whom do we adhere and to whom should we be faithful? The operative word here is being Catholic. What does the Catholic faith teaches? Are you in or not? Then, are we...
Malakas pa ba tayo, Eileen, na Katoliko? Marami pa rin tayo.
Oo, sir. Malakas tayo sa probinsya, lalo na. You know, even they conduct SWS surveys in Metro Manila, dito sa RH, about the RH bill. I think predominantly, the church still has, you know, may handle pa rin ang simbahan, lalo na sa mga probinsya. And we've seen it work. Us doing different movements and causes, we've seen how the church, if they really want to make things happen, it works. And you would see Santo Niño. Look at Cebu.
Yes.
Diba? How strong the faith of Cebu. In fact, most of the Solons who voted against the RH came from Cebu. Most of the Solons there are against the RH bill because Catholicism is deeply ingrained
So mas okay pala mga Cebuano, tayo sa Luzon ng mga problema?
Medyo ang Metro Manila, yan ang mga naliligaw ng landas. Pero there's hope. There's hope. Yeah.
Pero sana, why don't you just come out and say, botohin nyo ito. Why can't you do that? Ayaw na simbahan, ano?
It's going to be divisive.
Okay.
We are a composition of different lay movements, and we have to agree on the fact that these movements has their own causes and advocacies to push, and different politicians or candidates might adhere to their causes or motives. So we have to know, we have to be very sensitive on issues like that. So if we want to be really solid, I guess the problem with being big is there's also a chance for you to be divided. And that's what we're trying to avoid here.
You don't want to break it down.
We don't want to break it down. We don't want to divide our strong force by endorsing candidates. But I guess we have one strong cause that we're trying to push here. And that is to go against the politicians who are against life. Because life is the very basic teaching that the Catholic Church is espousing.
How do you convince false religiosity, like I was saying earlier? Yung mga may hawak ng rosaryo, may hawak ng Bible, pero kung magsinungaling, walang tigil. Di ba, profit is first, business is business. There's no such thing, di ba? Pag Katoliko ka, there's no such thing as business is business. You're either Catholic and you adhere to the teachings, you are soft, you are tolerant of other people, especially those who don't have. Hindi yung business is business. Di ba tama? How do you handle stuff like that? A false religiosity. You know, many, I think, are that. Like you said, they start their debates or their arguments saying, I'm Catholic. Buti hindi ka nasusuka, no? Oh, nasusuka kayo pag naririnig nyo. You must love Edsel Lagman.
Oh, to the bone.
You mean, to the bone with cancer. No, so you're very confident, Aileen, and the movement's very, very comfortable, and yet it's not necessarily the people of the robes or the robes themselves that are going to walk the street and take you, you know, they won't hold you and take you through it. I'd like to see this mass movement, and I'd like to really, how would people, if they wanted to participate and they're watching you on TV, what do we do? The people who don't know about it, but they hear about it, and how can they participate? Where do they go? Simbahan? Magtanong sa simbahan?
That might be pretty vague as of now, but they could log on to the website.
That's the better part.
Well, we're gonna...
Kung di marunong mag-computer, may edad na. Gusto ko tumulong sa inyo, Aileen, pero hindi ako marunong mag-computer.
Yeah.
Anong gagawin mo doon? Pag ganun-ganun pa yung di ba?
Siguro, sir, sa mga diocese, yung mga different organizations dyan, lay organizations. Kasi kung talagang involved ka sa simbahan, alam mo yung mga organization within the BEC.
Makikilala mo.
So, Laiko, Sangguniang Laiko ng Pilipinas is one of us. And they're the biggest lay organization, lay movement here in the Philippines. So, they have organizations as big as the CFC, the Focolare movement, the different dioceses.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
And many more.
So you're everywhere, is what you're saying.
We are everywhere. They just have to ask the leaders, the lay leaders within their respective parishes, are you part of the Catholic Vote Philippines? I want to volunteer. You are very much welcome.
So what you're saying is, politicians, watch out. We're not as weak as you think we are. Aileen, we're almost at the top of the hour, and we probably have a good 3 minutes before we end the show. I'd like to give you the opportunity to speak directly to the camera, to our people who are listening. What would be your message if the President would be listening to you and all the people who voted for the RH bill, as well as those who are confused, and even those with false religiosity? What would be your message to them in about a minute, minute and a half? This camera. To end the talk, more or less.
Should I address the President or, the Catholic faithful?
No.
Yeah.
That was just to psych you up.
To be more passionate.
Yeah, okay. Get mad! Diba?
Yeah. Sa mga kapwa ko pong Katoliko, sa mga kabataan at sa mga laiko, panahon na upang makialam sa lipunan, sa politika, sa eleksyon, at sa mga leader na ihahalal natin. Makialam kayo, kumilos, huwag lang magreklamo. We are asking everyone to join us at Catholic Vote Philippines. You just log on to catholicvote.ph or you inquire from your respective dioceses. We are coming to the different dioceses very soon to talk about the cause, to talk about how you could help in our election catechesis and on promoting who to vote as Catholics. Let's vote according to our conscience, but we make sure that we have an informed conscience, a conscience that is according to our faith, according to our being Catholic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eileen. We're going to have to end the show. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's a different kind of show. It's not necessarily just straight politics or current events. But is this not current event? Is this not priority? Isn't this even more important of all the different issues? Is the grounding of the American ship in the South more important, or the drone that's come down? Or is our religion, unless to you religion don't count, I guess then I'm talking to the wrong person. Are all these current events more important? Or the sin taxes, where now, you know, they told us 2-3 pesos ang akit ng sigarilyo, and when it's already almost double, diba? The profiteering is taking place all over the place. Consumerism is going wild sometimes. The economy is doing well because the rich are getting richer with the stock market or whatnot. But ang problema, what is priority? What should take center stage? How should we handle each other? How do we handle our daily affair? If I'm not mistaken, from what I've grown up to, if you don't have God in your heart and in your life, you are totally lost. Then again, I'm not a preacher. I'm not necessarily the man of the robe, and I'm not even a very active person or a lay person, very active with the church. But I do believe in it. I do. Katoliko ako. In fact, I'm running. I've joined the only party I believe that is close or who adheres to the Catholic Church, and that's ang Kapatiran Party. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the program. Maraming salamat po. Again, thank you, Aileen.
Thank you, Sir Harry. Thank you for the chance.
You are what you watch.